So the story begins with a boy falling down from the sky. While falling down he asks to himself, why on earth did I fall of the roof? He says, I was gonna graduate soon. I relentlessly held on. I just don't get it. The one thing that I am sure of is that today is the day I died. No, can I really say that I died? Then we see that in some hospital some doctor is saying, Grandma. It's already been 3 months. It feels a bit wrong to tell you as a caregiver. But I've never seen a patient waking up after being diagnosed as a vegetative patient. I think you should be prepared, says the doctor. Suddenly Grandma shouted on doctor and said, what nonsense are you spouting? Are you saying I should give up because my grandson will never wake up? No, that's not what I am saying, says the doctor. Then our protagonist consciousness talked to himself and says, after falling that day, did I become a vegetative patient since then? Sitting next to him, his grandmother says, my handsome Hunsong. Our protagonist name is Hunsong. Hunsong can feel his grandmother touch. He is telling himself to wake up but he can't. He says, how did things turn out like this? I can hear Grandma's voice. Everything will be alright. I've never been sick with a minor illness before. I'll wake up soon. But inside this pitch-black world nothing was ever allowed to me. His grandmother says, those people wants me to give up on you. How could I do so? When I have spent you a long time raising you after you lost your parents. I will never give up on you. At least once give me a signal that you are alive. He is saying to himself to move but Hunsong's body doesn't move. After some time Hunsong's brother comes in and talk to Hunsong about his situation in school. He says, Yun, I can't stand any longer. The guys who bullied you are even bullying me now. Grandma even worked at the restaurant to earn your hospital fee and hurt her waist. What do you really want me to do? Says Hunsong's. His brother says if you are going to be like this then you should rather die. If only you've died we wouldn't have such a hard time. Please wake up. Stop laying down and please wake up, says his brother. But Hunsong says to himself that he couldn't even shed a tear. He can neither die or not can he woke up as he pleased. He starts to tell himself that it must be a dream. I'm sure I am dreaming a long dream. If I hold on a bit more, I'll be able to wake up from this dream. Now we see that 3 years have been passed, and his relative stops visiting Hunsong. We see that some nurses are chatting that Hunsong's grandmother collapsed and now they can increase the volume of the TV. Hearing all this our protagonist gets angry to himself and then starts to think about those people who has put himself in this state. He starts to think about how to get revenge on them. Inside his mind he thinks about all those people who are responsible for his state. And prepare about how to kill all those people. Thinking about all this we see that many years have been passed and in all those years Hunsong only thought about taking revenge on those people. And finally after 10 years later we see that Hunsong finally starts to give up. Then we see that our protagonist finally died but we see that Hunsong and the one other person are crossing path. Then we see some classroom and all the people are chatting among themselves. We see Hunsong is in complete shock seeing all this. He cannot believe that he actually came back to 10 years before. He thinks, what's going on? He says it must be another exhausting dream again and pinch himself. But finds out it isn't a dream. It hurts he says. Then to finally confirm this, he takes a pen and stab on his leg and felt that pain. Seeing all this he finally realized that he actually came to past. And he asked to himself, did I really came to that time? Then we see that some bully is shouting and bullying some kid. We see that kid is crying and telling that bully to stop, I won't do it again. At that time our Hunsong also remember that this is that moment where it all started. Then we see that Hunsong goes towards that bully kid and tells him to stop it. But that bully kid says, what, did I hear it wrong? How interesting. Kim Hunsong, did you think you'll be able to deal with this situation? You must think that he is different from you. But don't kid yourself. That bully kid was saying something but suddenly Hunsong punched on his head. And said to himself, I returned to that time when I was a first grader to that moment that I've been desperately wishing for.